Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to X Marks the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Potato Chief, and I am with my good friend
Alice.
I was just pointing at random. It's a bit of a light news week this week. We got a little bit to talk about, but we're just gonna have a bit of fun, just a bit of a chill. It's a chill episode 16. So we're going to start off the episode how we always started off with what we've been playing. So, Alice, what have you been playing?
Not a lot much. It's a bit of a dry week too, because I've been looking out for my sister's family, who's just arrived over to my parents for about the second week in a way. They'll be leaving soon, so. But I've been helping out with my nephew to play Sonic Generations on the Xbox One.
Nice.
He just keeps constantly getting stuck on it, so I had to help him whenever I'm around. And if I'm not around, he probably ask my brother-in-law or my sister to help out. But apart from that, it's just really simple enough to set it up for the kids. But in regards to me, Halo Infinite is just boring. Not so much going on this week. And Paladins, I've been playing less of it. But, it's just because, I just felt more compelled to write my 5th draft for my novel, so I've been spending more time on that. So, but as I just went through the story again, as I improve it, it just gets better and better, which is why I'm more interested to finish the draft off than, playing the game, so you'll probably not hear much from me. But I've blew off the dust of my 3DS, which now I've been playing Kirby's Dream Land. Oh, nice. And I've been playing on extra mode. So the extra mode is just so difficult. It's just a lot of unpredictability, but you have to try hard to make sure you learn the patterns and everything.
All right.
But I noticed on my 3DS that I also got a bunch of games which I didn't know I have, a few Game Gear games like Sonic Triple Trouble and Mean Bean Machine. Oh. And I've also got Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, and I didn't know I owned that. Nice. It's just literally the Super Mario Brothers released for the Nintendo Game Boy Color. Yeah. But I noticed it was part of an offer in 2013 that if you were to link your 3DS to the Nintendo Network account so you can use it in the Wii U as well, then you get a free Super Mario Brothers Deluxe game too.
Yeah, I think I got that as well. Yeah, it's got multiplayer as well, and it is the first version of Super Mario Bros. To have multiplayer. It's the same as the original, but slightly squished because it's 4x3. I remember it. I've got it. I've got the deluxe version as well. It's fun. And then
I had to constantly make sure that I don't. Yeah.
So sorry.
I just constantly made sure that I don't want to fall into those pits because it just you go up and you just further up and then you just don't see your footing. Yeah. So you just have a risk of going for a cheap death.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was gonna say Mean Bean Machine is Puyo Puyo, isn't it? Really, it's just a normal puzzle game, but it's Sonic.
Yes.
And then they've if you watch Sonic the movie, the assistant has a coffee place called the Mean Bean. So that's a reference to that, obviously. So that's quite funny.
Because it's interesting you brought up Sonic in the movie too, because I've watched it on Monday, and I rented it on Amazon, and I got the kids to see it too, which is quite nice. Yeah. But it just ran out because once you start watching a movie, you have 48 hours to watch it again. Otherwise, you have to pay for it again. So.
Oh, that's annoying. I've got the first one on Blu-ray. I need to buy the second one on Blu-ray at some point. I really enjoyed it when I saw it in the cinema. I'm not a massive Sonic fan,
I thought you were into Nintendo.
Yeah, I am. I'm not really a Sega fan, really. I mean, if you ask me what the best Sonic game is, I always say that there is no good Sonic games. They're all rubbish. They're badly designed. They're badly designed messes. The best one is probably Sonic Mania, and that's not even an official. Well, it is official, but it was made by fans, which is just hilarious. I love Sonic Mania, but yeah. But yeah, I'm a Nintendo
Sonic
boy.
is made better by the Sonic is made better by the fans.
Yeah,
and I don't know how the Sonic Frontiers is going to get better or not, but we'll have to see.
It's because the thing with oh, go on.
I was going to change the subject.
Oh.
Were you saying about Sonic?
I was going to say my general thing with Sonic is that it's designed to be go fast as you can, blah blah blah. But if you go fast, then you can't react quick enough to hitting stuff, and if stuff comes to you too fast, then you can't actually react. So then it becomes a trial and error and trying to memorize the paths. But then you only have a limited amount of lives, so you can't memorize the path. You have to basically memorize the paths, run out of lives, start the whole game again, and then try and memorize your path through again. Or you're just going to go very, very slowly, which Sonic isn't really designed to move slowly and do slow platforming. So it's like, what? It's a bit of a bad design choice, really.
I think you're playing into the misconception because you're paying attention to the more marketing aspects of Sonic, because Sonic is designed where you're constantly... Sonic is like playing with the one button stuck down with tape for the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
You just have like Sonic like constantly running, and it's just like you need to have momentum in order to go through routes and bits like that.
Yeah.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog is designed so you can just only like move around and you only press jump, and that's like D-pad and one button approach.
Yeah.
Whereas Mario Brothers is just like you walk and jump, and you also got the extra button to not only like hold it to one, but you also fire fireballs with it too.
Yeah.
But Sonic is always designed with a D-pad and a single button in mind.
Yeah.
Also, Sonic the Hedgehog is not meant to be fast. It's just like you constantly run, but you don't run sprint or anything like that. But it's been it's being marketed outside of Japan, where Sonic goes for like hyper speed.
Yeah.
And it's been taken into account like the Sega Technical Institute, where Sonic ends up like running faster on Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, and that's how they develop with the market in mind.
Yeah.
But if you compare it to like Sonic CD, which is, well, you could say it's a sequel from Sonic 2 to like the original Sonic. And you notice it's not built on speed, but it allows for more exploration, and you get to travel between different time zones and everything like that. So Sonic isn't really built with speed in mind, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's the original Sonic, is like, because you were saying about going through loop-de-loops to get momentum and keep going. Like, you'll do like a loop-de-loop, and then you'll hit an area that's like got a blind jump in it, or just a blind spikes or something. Like something you wouldn't be able to react to quick enough. No human being would be able to react to in normal circumstances. So it is more of then it becomes a trial and error thing. But then that's why I suppose you have the one ring thing, isn't it? Where basically you lose all your rings, but you can still get your ring back and then continue playing. So you can take a hit, but obviously it's not like Mario is like one hit and you're dead unless you get like a mushroom and you grow, right? So it's like, I don't know. I've just never been a super fan of Sonic. I think Mania is probably the best one in my opinion, but that's my opinion.
If you're saying those problems from like the original Sonic, then you would certainly couldn't play Sonic Advance, because these games are like so fast, even with Sonic Rush, that you even have to boost in order to gain more speed, and you just keep bumping into things.
Yeah.
And that's only when it just gets really linear, boring, because you have to go fast in order to get to the goal, and that's without taking account of what you can do in a level.
Yeah. It's yeah. But I've never really liked Sonic because of that. Really, it does feel as a lot more trial and error than like actual reaction speeds a lot of the time. But you know, it's one of those things.
And I haven't really gotten into Legend of Zelda because I'm just like, I like to play it, but I'm not that interested to play it. I still haven't beaten Breath of the Wild. But I think I might get contradicted, because I used to play Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX when I was like a kid, when I got on the Game Boy Color. And it's just like, oh wow, I love this game, it's so good. But I just usually late to the party where I've beaten Link to the Past on the 3DS,
Wow.
but I got the Majora's Mask for the 3DS, and I haven't even started playing it.
I got Majora's Mask on the 3DS. I never finished it, but Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games ever. It won my Game of the Decade award for when it was 2020. I did my Game of the Decade, so like 2010 to 2020. Breath of the Wild is my number one. I adore that game. It's just like it's an open world game, but it's like similar to what Elden Ring does now. It's an open world game where there's like no markers or anything. And you just explore and you find stuff in the world yourself, and it's just like, oh, I found this. I wasn't told to collect 12 coconuts and then go back to this person or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's a proper adventure. I love Breath of the Wild. Oh, can't wait for the second one. And I'm a big Zelda fan. But yeah,
I only did about a portion of the game, and I keep forgetting to play it.
Oh.
Even though I've got a physical card, I can put it on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
But I somehow didn't play this much.
Oh,
That is despite I bought Sonic Mania for the Xbox, which I purchased for the Switch and PC, and been playing it on my Xbox again.
I got Sonic Mania on my Switch, so I finished Sonic Mania. I did as I said, I did enjoy Sonic Mania. But yeah, Breath of the Wild's one of my favorite games ever. It's just one of those games. It's almost like a good book. You just lay there and relax and just play it. You know, you don't have to think too hard. It's just you just explore the world and enjoy yourself. You know.
Well, you'll be pleased to know. Yeah.
Well, sorry.
By the way, so Sonic Frontiers is basically Breath of the Wild with Sonic in it. Are you interested in it?
No.
You are?
Not at all.
Yeah, me neither, because
it looks awful.
it's just I just feel that after I've seen everything on Sonic Team, and the fact it took 5 years since Sonic Forces to develop that,
wow.
I think people are interested in it, but I wouldn't hold my breath, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I would be investing in this. If it comes to the Xbox Game Pass, I'll check it,
Same.
But that's as far as I can go.
Yeah.
Also, the Sonic Origins got 25% off the price for the sale, but then I'm still not interested to get Sonic Origins, and I would rather get Link's Awakening for the Switch, but it still comes in at the full price, and that's along with Pokemon Arceus, and I'm just getting a little bit more interested in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but just be careful of the leaks coming around.
Yeah.
I knew some of them, but I think it wouldn't be fair to just stake them in the podcast.
No, I don't want to see any leaks. No leaks for me, please. Yeah, well, you say about Sonic Frontiers.
Just be careful.
Yeah, Sonic Frontiers comes out the day before God of War Ragnarok, so good luck with that, Sonic team. Everyone's gonna be like, oh
when
yeah,
does it come out?
November 9th, I think, or November 8th. I can't remember the exact date, but it's just funny to me that everyone will be like, oh yeah, Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, this is our review. Oh, God of War. Never mind. Bye. You're gone.
You'll be interested to know that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet comes out a week later, so you might as well save up the money for that instead.
Oh yeah, I probably will, because I'm a bit. Well, we'll get this. We'll talk more about this in the main subject of the episode. But I'm a bit annoyed at PlayStation at the moment. So I know what one consumer's opinion doesn't really make much difference. But me personally, I don't like giving them money when they're being like this. To be honest, but
we'll get to that soon.
We'll get to that at the end of the episode.
Speaking of PlayStation, yeah. But speaking of which, I've also touched Overwatch.
Ooh.
But I only played the training section on my PC. Because I found out that you can actually merge the accounts now.
Ooh.
Basically how it works is
I used to do that.
You go into Overwatch, and if you signed up at Blizzard.net for all versions of Overwatch you play, it gives you an option where you can check up on which accounts you have that you want to merge for Overwatch 2. So I signed up the PC version, and I got my PlayStation account, which is recognised.
Nice.
I just went... redid the connections because I changed I think there's a player ID for the PlayStation and Xbox since I last played Overwatch, so I updated the connections. It tells you about the cooldown, but ignore that, because if you just disconnect and reconnect your same account, it updates your player ID. But it still recognizes it anyway. So I just accepted it, and now I'm just ready. When Overwatch 2 comes over, I should be able to sign it on Xbox, and I get to play it for free and have all the skins I got from the original Overwatch.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll be Tracer.
But the only thing is, yeah, but it's just it says it's going to be free to play, but at the moment you have to pay for a Watchpoint pack.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure I'll be willing to pay for it just yet.
I'm not paying for it now, as long as I can be Chaser. You can be Chaser. No, I'm gonna be Reinhardt. Reinhardt's the one I usually used to play as. I like to be in defensive tank. Yeah, big tank. Just my giant shield with a hammer. Just go. What's his name?
Just Master Chief.
Yeah. What was the one who looks like the Grim Reaper? I forgot his name now. Skeleton.
Reaper.
Yeah, Reaper. I used to use him as well. Those are the two I used to use. This was ages ago when it first came out. I haven't played it in a long time. I need to synchronize my accounts though, because I got it on Xbox One and I got it on PC. So I'm gonna try and get the link. I'm gonna link both of them up to my Battle.net. So.
Oh right, yeah. So
that's
Xbox and
good point.
So you play your Overwatch on your Xbox and PC, right?
Yeah. Did
you link your Xbox to your Battle.net account?
I have no idea. I think probably not, but I might have. I'll have to have a look.
Well, I think it's quite simple because depending on which version you play, you just sign in, click on the account merge in the main menu, and then when you click on that, it just tells you which accounts you have. So because you played on the PC and the Xbox, it should show you those accounts. But if you don't, then it just gives you a QR code. So you can get over to Battle.net to tell you how to connect your accounts. And it's just very simple. I think it goes you're going to settings of Battle.net. You can do it on your web browser. And then you can sign in with your Xbox account under Connections tab. Just like how you did with the Epic Games.
Yeah. I've just found my disc for it. So I'm going to put this in later. I got the case.
Nice.
Can hear it opening.
But
I haven't used it in ages.
It's just
blow the covers off.
I just kind of wish that I played Overwatch on Xbox instead, because that was back when I was playing so much of a PlayStation that I defaulted for the Overwatch. But ever since I decided to sell my PlayStation 4 and don't game on my PC anymore, I played so much on the Xbox that I don't want to get Overwatch for that or the Nintendo Switch because I would have to start from scratch and go through all those things. So it's probably better that, especially that you no longer pay for loot boxes after this month.
Yeah.
So therefore, you'll probably be better off waiting for Overwatch 2 to come out. But yeah, definitely try to get the Xbox and PC accounts ready for Overwatch 2, and it will ultimately pop up as long as you connect your Xbox account over as well.
I'm going to try to do that. I'll try to do that tonight. Definitely, now you've said that. Play a bit of Overwatch. I haven't played it in a while. Yeah, so is that all you've been playing this week? Is that so?
That's about it.
So I've still been playing Prey. I was telling you about this last week. Arcane game. It's growing on me a lot. It's really good. I thought I would stop playing it, but I'm still kind of into it. It's very much like BioShock, but you're in a giant space station instead of Rapture. So you're in a giant space station. You gotta try it. It's almost like a Metroidvania. You're trying to figure out how you get to certain areas, and then you get a weapon or a code or something that opens up a certain area, so you can go back and backtrack. It's really cool. It's got the system in it where you can this is an old game, so some people are like, "Oh yeah, this is old game, old." Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. It has a system where it's if you pick up junk, you can chuck it into this machine, and it turns it into materials, so you can build stuff, which is cool. So if you Like you play like these first person shooters like Bioshock and stuff, and you like just going, "Ooh, I'll just pick this like tin up or this pencil or like piece of paper or whatever crap you find on on a desktop." Just literally, you can put all that and turn it into a weapon or whatever later on, which is cool. But I'm really enjoying it. It's like Bioshock, but it's like got like because it's arcade, it's got like Dishonored type powers. You could do like the blink, like blinking Dishonored, where it's like you could like go fast, like skip forward. Have you played Dishonored?
Yeah,
you could do that in this as well, and it's like you got cool like sci-fi weapons and stuff as well. It's rad.
I only played a little on my PC. I just got as far go through the opening sequence and got into prison, so that's as far as I can get.
Prison. Yeah, this is the new Prey.
Anyway,
this is like the arcane version. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Dishonored. Okay, yeah, but no, I'm really enjoying it. Prey.
I would have to put this in because I just found out posted today. Whereas you were talking about Prey,
yeah,
it says here that Raphael Colantino has revealed that nobody at Arcane Austin wanted Prey to be titled Prey.
All right.
Feeling it's gross to have it release something under someone else's IP. So I think it's referring like there was a Prey game that's released by 3D Realms, that's published by Take-Two, and then you just have Prey that is released, and you have it like named after someone else's IP.
That's a shame.
So
that's a shame that because it is a really good game, and I would recommend anyone playing it. It's a lot of fun. As I said, it's very Bioshock, like or System Shock or whatever. It's like that. It feels like that type of game, and apparently.
Do you mind if I talk more about it because there's more information to this?
Yeah, so yeah. I don't know if is this a new story?
It was envisioned to be a entirely different IP, and it's not based on the 2017 IP.
Yeah.
And it's not meant for fans of Arcane or the game. It's just that Bethesda was insistent that Arcane's next project had to be called Prey, and it's called the decision to be a non-negotiable compromise. Now, it's just more to do with the relationship with Bethesda, and I think it wasn't particularly a popular decision with the studio there, and they were so uncomfortable with the decision that they had to apologize to 3D Realms, who were behind the original Prey of 2016.
Oh wow!
And said it was like also a kick in the face to them. So they just wanted to apologize to them many times, and it wasn't their intention to steal their IP. So when it was first announced, I was like, gosh, they stole their name, and I don't think it's that particularly special. And not only that, Prey is just meant to be an entirely different game, so it's a bit awkward.
Yeah.
But we can all blame Bethesda for that.
That's a bummer, that is. I didn't realise that. But the game itself is very good, even if the name is, like, misleading. It's nothing like the original Prey that you were talking about, because I remember I played the original one a little bit. Like, you're a Native American and you get abducted by aliens, right? Whereas this one is like... This one, you wake up in an apartment and and it's like, okay, everything's normal, and then suddenly the next day you wake up in the same apartment and then everything's broken, and then you find out you're in a space station, and it just gets really weird, and it's like these things called mimics, which are like these black goo monsters that turn into other objects and stuff. So you can walk into a room and there's a mug on that table. I don't remember there being a mug on that table. And there's actually one of the mimics like hidden on the table as a mug, or like any item in the place. So the more I play it, the more you find out more about what these mimics are and how they've worked and how they became a thing and what they're doing in the space station. And it's like got lots of like video, like audio logs and stuff like that. You've got like rooms to unlock, and it's like a Metroidvania because you've got to go back and forth between areas. It's a really, really good game, and I no one's played it. No one hypes it up at all, and I really feel like it deserves some praise. A shame about the name thing. I didn't know about that. That's a bummer. But the game itself is fantastic, and I would recommend anyone playing it. Apparently, Prey Moon Crash is the DLC. Haven't played that yet, but apparently a lot of people say it's like a better version of Deathloop. It's made by the same people who made. It's made by the same people who made Deathloop, but they said they made a better version of it with the Moon Crash DLC. A lot of people I've heard say that. So if you want to play Deathloop, there's your it should be coming to Xbox any day now. But if you're impatient, you can play the DLC DLC for Prey. I'm looking forward to playing that when I've beaten the game. I've spent hours on it. It's such a good game. I said it reminds me a lot of playing the original BioShock. Highly recommend it. No one's played it. no one's played it, but I would recommend it highly, personally. The name thing's annoying. That annoys me. That does. It's a shame that it gets a bad reputation because of that. Because it is a fantastic game. That's all I've really been playing this week is Prey. I've been obsessed with it. I was like literally whenever I get any spare time, I spend like 3 or 4 hours on it. So yeah, looking forward to Deathloop when that eventually comes out, and I'm looking forward to Redfall when that comes out. So, Arcade, you've got your hooks into me now. So you've just been playing Sonic, I've just been playing Prey, so that's really it, isn't it, for what we've been playing, I guess?
Well, not mainly Sonic. It's basically my nephew's been playing a lot of Sonic, not me.
My nephew is like...
But he was like so addicted to not only Sonic, but also lots of like games too. Like he's just like so hooked.
Right.
Oh, he doesn't like eat a lot, and it's just like I want to play Sonic, and then he just couldn't eat his main meal, or you gotta go to bed, but I want one more game on it. So yeah, it's gonna be a problem toddler day. Yeah.
My nephew just turned 4 this week, and he's obsessed with Pokemon. So it's like basically everything that my sister got him was Pokemon stuff. So it's like a Pokemon toys, Pokemon figures. We bought him an Ash Ketchum outfit, so it'd be funny to see him in that. He's like a Pikachu out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to teach him how to play Pokemon when I go over and visit him in Australia. So, and I also want to teach him Minecraft.
Well,
my sister doesn't know about Minecraft, and I think that's a good game to teach kids. So I'm totally gonna be the one who shows him Minecraft. Because they live in Australia, so I don't get to see him that often, unfortunately. But when I do, that's what I'm going to be doing.
He's interested in Pokemon, but only like watching it on TV.
Yeah.
He hasn't like played any of those games.
All right.
So it's just like, just seeing a Pokemon as a TV show.
Fair enough.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into it. But I think he's probably going to be like so glued to Sonic that he would just like play on the stuff that I used to own as a kid for the Sonic stuff. So therefore he's probably a Sega fanboy compared to the Nintendo fanboy.
It's weird that we're the older generation now, and all the kids are it's like we're like watching kids becoming gaming fans. We're teaching them how to play, like what gaming stuff is. As I said, I'm definitely showing my nephew Minecraft as soon as I get the opportunity. I'm gonna go show him how to play Minecraft for sure, because that is just like because my sister doesn't really know Minecraft, so it's like I do, so it's a good stepping stone.
He's a stepbrother too. He's like 11, and he's like playing Pokemon and Zelda on Switch. So
nice.
He probably like, but he's like trying to like catch up with him. Like he prefers showers instead of baths, and tries to like enjoy football. So it's just like. Yeah.
I like football, so I don't like playing football. I like watching football. Yeah.
Well, their family's like supports Liverpool. What do you support?
Oh no. I'm a Man United supporter. I'm probably gonna get hate for that in the comments as well, because a lot of people don't like Man United. So, but I've always been a Man United supporter, and the reason is because my uncle and my family have always supported them. And I used to like him because of Ryan Giggs, but it turns out we're not sure what's going on. He's in court at the moment, so he might be a bit of a douche, or he might not be a bit of a douche. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But I always used to support...
Ryan Giggs is a 90s superstar in Man U.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just basically
I'm Welsh.
Man U versus Liverpool.
Yeah, it's because I'm Welsh, so I was always like, for years and years and years, because Cardiff City and Swansea were never in the Premiership, I always used to support Man United because like Ryan Giggs is Welsh, so that's like the closest we're going to get to a Welsh team in the Premiership. So it was just watching Ryan Giggs play. That was literally it for as well as a kid, and I've always supported them. But yeah, not a Liverpool fan. No. We beat them last week. It just bothers me, even though we suck.
It just bothers me. It just bothers me. It's just like, oh, there's someone who does electrics for the shower. I was asked like, oh, do you watch football? No. And there was like nephews, my step nephews. So it's like, oh, do you know Chelsea? Well, I know a little bit. Do you like football? Chelsea. No. Well, if you come and check, well, there's some football over there, so you can watch it with me. And no, I don't watch football at all. I know I've got Pre-Evolution Soccer 4 on the Xbox, but that's the only football game I own. But my nephews is just like playing football on their PlayStation, and they're just like, no, I don't want to do football. I would rather play Halo than like play football. So I'm not interested in football at all. And then my mum brings up to say, oh, I used to own Arsenal t-shirts. Well, that's because it's got a Sega Dreamcast on it. That's it.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. And also for our American listeners, we're talking about soccer. Not egg handball that you call football for some reason, because you throw an
not football,
not American football, which is where you use an egg-shaped ball and you use your hands, so it makes no bloody sense that it's called football. Anyway,
you should play American football though.
Yeah, Man U beat Liverpool last week, so I'm happy about that. Even though Man United's been terrible for the last 10 years, we've been awful, but we won a match, so I don't care. I'm happy. Leave me alone. I'm gonna get a load of shit for this, and like that's the thing. You could say political views or you could say anything on the podcast, but as soon as you say what football team you support, that's when the real hate comes in. Like, oh, you like Xbox? That's cool. I prefer PlayStation. So, what, you like Man United? Die, scum! I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
Well, you'll be interested to know that my mum and dad prefers rugby and they don't watch football at all.
Rugby's good too. I'm Welsh, so I should support. I do like my rugby, so.
Make sure that England loses badly.
Yes, hopefully. Fingers crossed. People don't get that with this is totally. We're totally going off subject. I don't care. Screw it. People don't get that. Like when they go, "Do you support England?" and I go, "No." They're like, why do you support England? They're your neighbours. Blah blah blah. It's like because they're our rivals. Like that's how sports work. You don't support your rivals. It doesn't make any sense. Like I'm a Man United supporter, so why would I want Liverpool to win anything? Why would I want England to win anything when I'm Welsh? It doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand why people don't get that. It's like they get confused when they say I don't support England. It's like I'm Welsh. Why would I? Like you're not going to support Wales.
You know, look. I think if you just keep on going, people are just going to end up asking you.
Yeah, dig the hole.
What is Wales? What is England?
Wales is a country that is next to England, and we are all part of Great Britain. And
where is Wales?
It is next to England, and then you live in Cornwall, which is part of England, but it's trying to be independent, but it's not, right? If I remember correctly, I can't remember. Cornwall.
One of my nephews is originally from South Korea, so he just came over and he literally asked me like where Wales is. I even had to bring out my phone, show a map, and just point. Yeah, this is Wales, right next to England.
It's this little tiny thing on the side of England, and then the top half of where you think England is actually Scotland, and then you got this other island on the side of it. There is Ireland, and then there's a half of that is Northern Ireland. Well, a little bit of that's Northern Ireland, which is also a different country. And you have like the Isle of Man, which is also a different thing, and then you have Guernsey, which is also a different thing, and then and then Cornwall's kind of it's England, but it's like its own thing as well, sort of. We're a complicated little island. The Great Britain is pretty complicated.
Is someone cooking waffles and eggs outside? I can smell it.
I'm in Cardiff. You're in Cornwall. How would I be able to smell what your neighbours are cooking? I'll smell it through the webcam. Ooh, yeah, I think that smells it. Waffles. I like waffles. Yeah, so I'm going to get a lot of hate. This is probably going to be my most hated episode ever because I said I don't like England and I also said I support Man United.
But it's not the most hated if it's not mentioned in the title and description.
That's true. It will be most hated because this episode's going to be called something like PlayStation's Greedy or something like that, which is also going to get a lot of hate. But it's true, damn it, and I need to talk about it. Which is our let's talk about the news. So
what's the news?
Yeah, let's just change subject back
What's
to
the news?
the news. There's not much news.
An Xbox. Why is it still hot before it's end of September? Or is it August?
It's August.
Is it still August?
It's still August. When we record this, it's still August. When this goes out, it's September. But there you go. Yeah, it's very hot over here. I'm burning up. Gone off subject here.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. It's still hot.
So, the news! Not much news this week. Phil Spencer was talking about Xbox and said that he believes the future will be less exclusives, which, like, I thought it was kind of self-explanatory. He's like saying, I'm paraphrasing here because I haven't got the quote up, but he says something like, if someone in your household has one piece of plastic and you have another piece of plastic and you can't play video games with each other, then there's something wrong and we need to break down that barrier, essentially. So he's basically saying that he wants cross-play to be more of a thing, which, like, yeah, of course, that's like what Xbox's thing is, right? Also, like, cloud streaming and PC and all that. And traditional exclusives, whereas, like, you have to own the box, is going to become less of a thing, which with Xbox is already not a thing anymore because you could have a PC or you could cloud stream any game that's on Xbox. And PlayStation's going that direction as well with like Spider-Man and going on PC just recently, and that's selling really well, and God of War and Uncharted, all these games going on PCs and doing really well. So traditional exclusives are going away. What do you think about that? Are you sad about that? Are you happy about that? What do you think?
Sorry, traditional exclusives.
Yeah, to like consoles like that, because that's like what this big. That was the thing that most people got from this Phil Spencer interview. He's basically saying that he believes in a future where if you own a different box, you can still play the same games together with your friends and stuff like that. And traditional exclusives are going to become less of a thing going forward in the future of gaming.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be down to how people play their games.
Yeah.
Because it's just basically PlayStation and Xbox are the same. You just like, it's going to be a preference to which console you prefer to play, because you're going to end up like having the same games you get on a PC. But I think it's just like what the people should be doing. It's just like when it comes to design of the consoles, it now has to be unique and not just any kind of system. I just prefer Xbox because it has better multimedia capabilities and I prefer their online services, so I chose that instead of a PlayStation, which I was not impressed with.
Yeah.
And it's just those kind of decisions I made because you just no longer tell like which is the best system to get for the games, because most of the games you're going to get is just going to be on on both of these systems anyway. If you compare it to like Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, you definitely have a huge diversity in which games you can get for any of those platforms, because developers used to be in the past where you had to choose whether they would build from the Mega Drive or whether they build for a Super Nintendo. Yeah.
I mean, with third parties, apart from obviously when PlayStation pays for blocking rights or Xbox pays for exclusivity, there's no point having a game that's exclusive anymore. If you're a third party developer, like, you make more money being on more systems. It just makes sense, right? Like, if you release a game, you want to release it on the Switch and then on the Xbox and then on the PS5, and you want to be on every system you possibly can. The only exclusives that make sense are obviously first party now, and even they're kind of going to go extinct at some point. I mean, Xbox has got the best kind of middle ground where they can literally put all their exclusives on PlayStation and on Nintendo, but they go, but if you want them cheaper, you got to get Game Pass. Like that's like the best scenario is that if you're a Game Pass user, you feel like you're getting the best value for money and getting all the Xbox first party stuff first, even if they're no longer going to be exclusive. You know, I mean, obviously we're going to still get Starfield and stuff, but does that mean maybe the Activision stuff's not going to be exclusive? I'm not sure. It's interesting. I feel like they should just make everything exclusive, but then I feel like that is kind of old fashioned sentiment, and it'd be bad for PlayStation owners, I suppose. I don't know.
Well, Sony is already getting really scared about like losing games to Microsoft. Yeah. So, but I think by the time Microsoft gets Activision in the deal, then PlayStation's existence as a competitive player is threatened.
Oh yeah.
Which is why they are trying to make sure that the deal doesn't pass. Otherwise, they're going to lose a lot of games because Activision and Blizzard has got a lot of popular games under their belt.
Yeah, mainly Call of Duty is the big one, but then as I was just saying with the kind of like almost semi-exclusive thing, is that Call of Duty they never have to make Call of Duty exclusive, but the fact that you can get it for £10 a month on Game Pass going forward means that obviously people will prefer to be playing Call of Duty on an Xbox if they have any common sense anyway when it comes to pricing. You know, it's like, oh, I could save money by just getting Game Pass and getting Call of Duty that way. You know, it works out much cheaper just to buy, like, maybe you get an Xbox Series S and get like, if you only play Call of Duty, just get a Series S and like Game Pass and then you're good for forever, basically. I don't know. It's because there are people who only play Call of Duty and there are people who only play FIFA and stuff like that. So those are obviously going to be an issue. But if you get them in a subscription, then maybe it'll work out better for you. I don't know. It's a strange one. I feel like Xbox has only just started to get exclusives, so if they start getting rid of exclusives, so we're going backwards. It's weird. I don't know. I like the idea of more of a cross-play future where we can all play games together and all be united as gamers and not be restricted by what piece of plastic we bought, which plastic box is better and all that stuff. I kind of feel like that gets a bit tedious after a while. Even though obviously I'm Team Xbox, I do feel like talking about plastic boxes can be a bit silly. I'm kind of going on a rant there. I'm sorry. I don't really know where I'm going with this.
That's all right. It's been a slow week anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So is there any other news you have?
I've already got one more bit of news before our topic of the show news, which is Assassin's Creed Mirage has been leaked. Ooh, the next Assassin's Creed. Apparently it's back to basics and they're getting rid of all the new RPG systems like branching choice lines and stuff like that. It feels more like the original Assassin's Creeds. It's going back to Baghdad, and it's going to be very similar to Assassin's Creed 1. And apparently rumors are that they are going to have a remake of Assassin's Creed 1 as DLC for Mirage. I think that's what they said, which is weird, but yeah, I'm interested. It's not... Assassin's Creed 2 is my favourite Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed 4 as well. I've never really been a fan of the westernized RPG versions that they've done with the Odyssey and Valhalla and what was the other one? Origins, Valhalla and Odyssey I never was really a big fan of. Assassin's Creed 2 and 4 I'm totally in for, so if it's going back to basics I'm totally down for that. Is that something you'd be interested in, or are you just not into Assassin's Creed at all?
I'm like preferring more Prince of Persia because I think they develop too many like Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, there's too.
It's quite a lot of it compared to the new Prince of Persia now.
Yeah, I mean Prince of Persia was such a good series and they just stopped making it. I don't. The remake is still being made at some point. That's still coming at some point. We don't know when. I think they're like said it might be coming out like 2024 or something ridiculous like that now, but. Yeah, so the new Assassin's Creed is going to be going back to basics, which is I kind of like because I don't like the new Assassin's Creed that much. But then I'm like, how when you say back to basics, how back to basics are we talking? AC2 is my favorite, so if it plays like AC2, I'll probably enjoy it a lot more than I like Valhalla. Yeah. This is kind of apparently supposed to be like a stopgap between this and Assassin's Creed Infinity that's coming out, which is supposed to be like a live service game, which I'm like really not looking forward to if that is real. That's been rumored is the live service Assassin's Creed, so like Destiny, Assassin's Creed. No thanks. I'm good. I'm not super into like those type of games. I like Destiny when it came out, but I haven't played it for years. So, yeah. I don't know. So you prefer Prince of Persia? What about like Beyond Two Souls? Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil. That's another Ubisoft game that's disappeared. Yeah, like Activision, they've been were accused of basically every development studio in Activision working on Call of Duty. It feels like Ubisoft is the same with Assassin's Creed. Like literally, all their time and resources are just going into Assassin's Creed games, and like I don't know, have they ever been that successful? I don't feel like they're that the same level as Call of Duty when it comes to like sales and stuff. Or am I on the outside looking in here? Like, what do you think?
I'm not that fast. I think they really need to try different ideas, but I think it just goes in the basis where they have to keep making sequels in order to keep their franchises relevant. But I think it's just like milking them in order to make sure people are still interested in it. But I think there's such thing as having too much of a good thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'm not. Like, I kind of got bored of Call of Duty after Black Ops 1, and Assassin's Creed. I kind of got bored of it after Assassin's Creed 4. I feel like, as you said, too much of a good thing. It's like they got all these amazing IP in Ubisoft. Like, why not make a new Splinter Cell? Make a new Prince of Persia? I know they are making Beyond Good and Evil 2, but like, where is that? Like, when you put more of your resources into those games instead of making more Assassin's Creed games, like, surely they're gonna be seeing like I don't know why Assassin's Creed is like their one franchise that they put loads of money into. I don't understand that because I don't think it's ever sold.
Well, I think the kind of question. I think the kind of questions we need to ask though is, when is Halo multiplayer? So the campaign co-op is going to come. It has to arrive now, so now it's just waiting on 343. Like 343 is now confirmed some infinite delays, and they said that the campaign co-op is going to be delayed, and it looks like the Forge could well be delayed too, which is not going to be looking very good for like season 3.
Bloody hell.
I feel that if the 343 is going to delay Forge any times, like if they're going to delay that and not going to feature in season 3, then Halo Infinite could well be dead.
Oh, man,
The yapping is already been confirmed for 6th of September for 2 weeks, and it should be great, but after that, it's going to get less and less relevant, and by the time we get to season 3, it's just like, it's going to be a huge drop-off, unless they're going to introduce something huge for it. But now it's just like, they're going to delay more of the features there, and probably going to end up starving the game to death. Because I checked on like Steam charts, and that's only for like the PC version.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it seems to peaking around like 6,000 players on the PC version on Steam, but doesn't like suggest what it's going to be like for Xbox and the PC version from Xbox Store on the PC.
I see. Okay. So we're talking about Halo Infinite now. We jumped from Assassin's Creed Infinite to Halo Infinite. I mean, if it is delayed again, I don't know what the hell they're doing. We're talking about resources, right, and resourcing people. It's like 343. Surely you should have enough staff. Microsoft should be like, are they understaffed in 343 or something? Because they never seem to be able to hit their targets. Is that they have all this stuff that they should have released ages ago and it's still not out. So that's the opposite to Assassin's Creed. Whereas Assassin's Creed has too many people working on it. I feel like 343 has like nobody working on it. Yeah, I don't understand why Halo everything gets delayed all the time. Like surely Forge and co-op multiplayer should have been there at launch, and they're still not there. Like over a year later.
Well,
it's mad.
I'm afraid that I think if they're ever gonna like delay it, because they don't really have time before next August to like get to release them. Because in fact, if it's gonna keep on going for months and they don't introduce anything new, then this game is practically dead, and it's not going to be worked on anymore. And it's all because like 343, they're not really treating this situation seriously.
No.
Like, they tried to fix the game numerous times, but it just seems as if they're poorly managed, and they couldn't even get the more content over, so it's just frustrating.
It is. I hope they fix it. We always have issues. There's pretty much every episode of Xbox the Box we talk about Halo and how they need to fix it. I hope they will. So that's all the news for today. Should we move on to our topic of the show?
Yep.
Topic of the show. Welcome to the topic of the show. The PS5 has a price hike everywhere in the world apart from America. Xbox and Switch both say, nah, we're not putting our prices up because we're not assholes. PlayStation are like, yeah, well, we're greedy, so we'll have your money, please. That's pretty much the topic of the show. Do you think the PlayStation 5 and Sony are greedy? I got a Forbes article here on my phone, which is basically talking about the greed of PlayStation, and they're starting to get a really bad reputation all of a sudden. It's weird. It feels like ever since Jim Ryan's took over PlayStation, it's become it's got this really greedy reputation. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, fanboy. So I would say the same thing about Xbox at the beginning of the last generation. Like the beginning of Xbox One, Don Mattrick was a tyrant. He was horrible. He was awful. And Jim Ryan, I think, is the same person. I wouldn't surprise me if it.
Well, I had to butt in and say that I think Sony is not like really caring about the consumers right now.
Definitely not.
Not only they moved over to American headquarters and somehow putting too much focus on the American consumer instead of Japanese consumers.
Yeah.
But also, they don't seem to be competitive and try to turn everything into the premium. Like, full games, even at digital stores, selling for like 70 quid.
Exactly.
And some games, you can pay it for cheap, but it just seems as if you're encouraged to pay 70 quid or for some of the games there. And now it just appears as if like there's now a price hike, and now it's just not being respected by anyone.
No.
As I brought up with the article which is posted on Metro on 20th of August, It says here, a reader is frustrated at Sony's decision to increase the price of a PlayStation 5 and argues it's a turning point in their rivalry with Xbox. So, I think it's just like... the reason they did this price hike is because of the inflation and the cost of living, which means they have to like try to raise the price to be on level with the inflation. But this is a bad decision to do because I understand that when it comes to consoles, they don't get so much of a profit for each unit, but to increase the price of their system to like 450, it's just like, oh my gosh, like if it's everything has to be scaled to inflation, because I found a chart that the Sega Master System, if it uses like inflation for the few years ago, it would be worth 550 quid back in like 1985, I think. Yeah.
Well, the PlayStation 5 is already profitable. It already has, it's making bank here. It's making loads of money, and it's like inflation. It's like, oh, we gotta change the price for inflation everywhere except America, where we actually might be having a competition with Xbox. Wait.
Not America?
No.
So it's everything else in America where it increases in price?
Everywhere in the world has gone up in price except the United States of America. We've got an extra £30
I think that...
on top of our 450, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty much proves the point, because you can now you can order the PlayStation 5 by invitation only. Otherwise, you have to get it in a bundle.
Yeah.
And now you can get it that can like go above like 500 quid or even like 600 quid. So it just seems as if you, with that kind of money, you pay for the iPad Pro at a low base spec.
Yeah.
It's like.
This is the first console first console ever, unless you count the Oculus, the Oculus VR, the first console ever to go up in price after launch. This console's been out for years and it's actually gone up in price. Like usually when it gets to 2 or 3 years into a console life cycle, the price goes down. I don't understand how they can justify putting the price up. It's maddening. And I said, if they put the price up in every country, that'd be one thing. But the fact that they put it up everywhere except America, proving that they can afford not to do it, is shocking to me. And it's also like just basically saying F you to all the customers outside of the United States. Like if you're the Japanese customers are not happy, European customers are not happy. We're not it's not a good look. And as I said, I feel like Jim Ryan is just Don Mattrick in a disguise. You know, like the end of Scooby-Doo when they take their mask off. I feel like someone takes the mask off Jim Ryan, and it'll be Don Mattrick underneath. I swear they're the same person. They both just greedy idiots. I feel like Jim Ryan needs to get fired straight away because PlayStation was doing so much better without him in charge. I can't stand him. It was so anti-consumer. And they need a Phil Spencer in PlayStation. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're an Xbox fanboy." It's like, well, I own a PlayStation. I have a PS5, and I'm not happy with their business practices at all. And even though I own one, so maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Yeah.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that there's already some healthy stock of the Xbox Series X. And you can now get it from several retailers. It doesn't look as if you can easily get it on its own on Amazon, but you can get it for like 450 quid, which is like £100 cheaper than a typical PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Or you can get an Xbox Series S for like 250 quid. So, I mean, there's plenty full of stock there.
Yeah.
So why go for the PlayStation 5? If you can get the Xbox.
I mean, I know we're an Xbox podcast, so we're going to say this anyway, but it's such good value for money. I don't understand why you wouldn't buy one. Get the Series S and Game Pass, and you're good. That's it. All you need is Game Pass and the Series S, and you've got so many games to play. Then you should try that Prey game that I've been playing, or you should try and play some Halo Master Collection, or Halo Infinite, or Forza Horizon 5. And then next year we got Redfall, we got Starfield, we got Minecraft Legends, we've got Forza Motorsports, we got Diablo 5. There's so many cool things coming to Xbox next year, and there already is a load of really good stuff to play on an Xbox. I don't understand why you would pay this premium price for a PS5 when it's not a premium product as far as I'm concerned. It's
What's interesting though is PlayStation 5 you can buy certain like SSD chips that you can replace in PlayStation 5 with.
Yeah.
So if you're after like Xbox and you want to get more games for it, unless we're talking about Xbox One games which you can get an external disc for.
Yeah.
The expansion cards, 1 terabyte is just below 200 quid.
Yeah, the extra cards are not great.
You have to be prepared to like hot swap all the games out unless you decide to get a card to put more games on.
Yeah.
But I feel this is going to be an Xbox 360 situation where you start with 20 gigabytes of hard drive, but now you get 120 gigabytes. And now, once you get to Xbox One, you get like 500 gigabytes of hard drive space.
Yeah.
And that's when the digital games started to kick in. Now we need like 1 terabyte in order to get a lot of our favourite games on.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 1 terabyte. Obviously, Xbox Series X comes with 1 terabyte. I have an external hard drive that I plugged into the back of it, which you can't play Xbox Series S and X games off the hard drive, but you could just put them on there. So if you want to move stuff around and put basically back everything up to a hard drive and just move it back and forth, instead of downloading it all over and over and over again. So, for example, you download Call of Duty for 100 gigabytes, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to play Call of Duty anymore. I'm going to clear some space up. Put it onto your other hard drive. Just move it. And then when you want to play Call of Duty again, just move it back to your internal. So you can buy an external hard drive for quite cheap, and just you won't be able to play games off it. But that's my workaround with it. I honestly think that Xbox is the best value in gaming, though. And I know that's like a cliche, but if you get Game Pass, there's just so much good stuff to play for just £10 a month. And then you can also keep getting Game Pass by just playing it and getting Microsoft points. You get Microsoft points by just using your Xbox, and you can use them to buy more Game Pass. And you can literally just play Game Pass forever and not pay a penny after you've bought it. After you bought it like once, you can just keep topping it up by playing games. It's amazing. It's such a good service. And there's so many good games on there, and there's going to be even more good games, especially when Activision gets added. There's going to be so much to play on there. You're not going to be able to find the time to play everything you want to play on Xbox when Activision comes out. I don't understand the price hike of PlayStation. What I don't understand more than that is people who defend the price hike of PlayStation. I don't understand why you would be on their side for this one. I feel like they're being greedy, and it's being obvious that they're being greedy because they are still making a fortune. They don't need this extra income, and they're just passing on stuff to the customer, like, who are already struggling to buy a console, and then we're being sold into the room by putting the price up. It's maddening. Like, I know people who've been wanting to buy a PS5 since day one, and now they still haven't been able to find one, and now they're going to have to pay a premium. It's crazy. I mean, what do you think?
Well, it's just... I mean, Sony's already been anti-consumer, and I think it's just, like, tries to please the American audience so much, whereas, like, with Europe is currently where the PlayStation is top in this region.
Yeah.
And Japan is, like, not familiar with Xbox and tends to go for Sony. But you'll be interested in Japan, which I imagine that Britain's going to follow suit, along with Europe, is, like, they're going to be so interested in, like, getting a Nintendo Switch, and now you get lots of OLED versions, and you can get them for like 300 quid. But I think it just makes sense that if you haven't owned a Switch before, you can go for one of those because you get upgrades from when you play it on handheld.
Yeah.
Or you can get a Switch Lite 2. So I think what's happened is that I doubt that anyone would be interested to get a Xbox in response to the PlayStation. If they do decide to do that, then I'm not going to be surprised because it is definitely getting people to buy more Xboxes.
Oh yeah.
But they'll probably be more likely to get Nintendo Switches because it's a highly accessible platform compared to the Xbox because you can like play on a TV or you can play anywhere.
I mean, that's a good point. I feel like the Switch, I mean, like, it's almost like there's this golf now. You got the Switch and the Xbox Series S, and then there's this massive chasm of price between the Xbox Series X, and then you even got to pay even more for a PS5. And it's like, if you want a game, there's so much easier ways of getting into gaming now. Switch is like the best the gateway in, as you've said. But then also, if you already have a Switch and you want to play the newest like Call of Duty and stuff, you get a Series S. You know, I honestly, unless you're like a hardcore gamer like we are, who like play like everything, I feel like getting a Series S is worthwhile. I think the Series S is a good alternative. I play a lot of Xbox, and I sometimes get stuff on disc, but otherwise I think buying a Series S, I don't think I would mind having one of those. I mean, it's not a bad system whatsoever, especially for the price. I think it's definitely worth looking into getting a Series S. If you haven't jumped into the next generation of Xbox, try and get a Series S. You might enjoy it. I think it's a really good system. If you're only going to play Game Pass, it's definitely worth getting. I think. If you're just going to play Game Pass, and you don't have a 4K TV, or you don't care about 4K, just get an S. I think that's your best bet. Definitely best value for money.
It's also very good for cloud gaming. Like if you get the Xbox Game Pass, the cloud gaming is now like sustainable, so you can like play on like different devices, but Series S should be enough for it, because chances are you're not going to get a super fast connection for it.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I love my Xbox, and I have a PlayStation 5, and I'm like, I barely use it anymore. Honestly, I'm probably gonna play God of War on it, but the majority of my gaming is on the Xbox, and I feel like it is the best system on the market. And I don't think the price is justified for PS5. I don't think that extra price is justified. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I feel like you're better off buying a Series S and a Switch than buying a PS5. Buy both of those. Get a Series S and a Switch, and they're still cheaper than buying a PS5. I think you'll enjoy yourself much more than buying a PS5. Because honestly, I have a PS5 and I barely use it. I play multiverses on it, which I can play on my Xbox, and that's it really. And I'm waiting for God of War. Apart from that, it's just collecting dust at the moment. My PS5. I almost regret buying it, to be perfectly honest, because I play the Xbox so much more than I play the PlayStation. But then I say I regret buying it. I got it cheaper than everyone else is going to get it. Ha ha ha! I got it cheaper. You all have to pay more than me.
Yeah.
I'm just messing. But yeah, that was the topic of the show. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this?
Yeah, I don't think I have much to say, but
Yeah.
I just feel like as much as a lot of people are enjoying the PlayStation, and a lot of them are like, even the PS we trust, I think they're just so sticking to their guns with the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it just even goes as far as like thinking, oh, I owned a PlayStation 5 before it just went up in price, so therefore I got it for a really good value.
Yeah,
and whereas others have been patiently waiting for the stock to like be restored and haven't had a chance to get it, it just means they get even more pissed off and they have to shell out 40 quid more, and it just assumes as if they're going to need more money for it.
Yeah.
But even so, the cost of living is just going to mean like people may not be able to afford such game consoles like those.
Yeah.
And Switch is by far the cheapest for like 300 quid, and that's only for the LED model.
Yeah.
So unless they go into the computer exchange and get an older Switch in, then they're pretty much left in the dirt and have to find some ways for cheap entertainment instead of like having to shell out lots of money for like games consoles.
No, I agree with you.
I know the winter's going to be so difficult, and it's projected to be just as worse as in like 2008 or 2009. But even so, it's just like, I don't know. But it's going to be a challenge either way, and I don't know if the PlayStation 5's price hike is going to affect everybody.
No.
But I know it's going to piss off certain gamers, and pretty much like a huge gotcha moment for like some Xbox owners too.
Yeah.
But I think it's just going to change people's opinions on how they get their game systems.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand the defend your plastic box with your life kind of attitude that some people have. Like some people defending PlayStation's price hike. I don't get it. At the end of the day, it's a plastic box that is made by a multi-million-dollar company who are already making money. If Xbox did this, I would be just as pissed off, if not more pissed off. I feel like you should hold these companies accountable for when they do stupid things, and I feel like PlayStation is getting this reputation of being a very greedy company, and it's ever since Jim Ryan's took over. I want to like PlayStation, and I'm getting really pissed off at them. Like at the beginning of as I said, the last generation, when the Xbox One went to shit, and Don Mattrick was like, DRM, we have a console for you, it's called the Xbox 360, and you'll have to pay 100 quid for the Kinect, all that crap. I was like, no, fuck you. I'm not buying your Xbox with all that crap. And I feel like a lot of PlayStation gamers are like, oh yeah, I'll pay an extra 30 quid, I'll pay an extra 10 quid to upgrade my games, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's just like, hold them responsible for this stuff. Try and be we want good consumer practices, and I feel like there's a lot of anti-consumer stuff going on for PlayStation this generation, and I don't like it, and it really makes me not a fan of PlayStation, and I want to be a fan of PlayStation. I want to like all three of my plastic boxes. I don't like my PlayStation at the moment. I feel like their company is going down the wrong path. They're going to the dark side, and they need to be. Someone needs to slap them. Like Jim Ryan, sort your shit out.
Well, I think I'm not getting a PlayStation 5 anyway because it's big.
It is big.
I may make up some space for it because I've got a good TV stand for it. But even say that there's not going to be a lot of games for it, and also the price is just like not so good. I mean, I would rather like spend my money on the PlayStation 4 again and play it, and it would be a Pro Edition so I can like get 4K because I don't think there's a lot of reasons to get a PlayStation 5 if I got everything I need on the Xbox. Plus, I've been playing less and less games than before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be writing more. I'm getting more interested in my work. So therefore, it would be silly for me to get a PlayStation 5 when I should be using my budget for, say, getting a new Mac Mini Studio or Mac Mini or even like an iPad Pro.
Yeah.
But not a PlayStation 5 when there's not likely to be used a lot. But I think the biggest problem with like Sony at the moment is just they're trying to make sure they want to appeal to the American audience because at the moment they have a lot of Xboxes in their homes, but at the same time they just like they throw European and Japanese, in fact Asian players under the bus, and they just like been trying to focus so much on the American market that they just don't really care about the other markets, and I think that's just going to make them suffer so much. It's not going to be as bad as the Sega Saturn era, where Sega's been so desperate to push the Sega Saturn out and rushed it, only to become less relevant.
Yeah.
But rather, there's just a PlayStation like trying to appeal to the American market without a lot of consideration for other markets too. It's just like as if they're being so self-important on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, so every generation of console, I've bought all the consoles pretty much at some point. So I've bought the PS5, and I pretty much what you just said pretty much sums it up. I've barely played it, honestly. The games I've played the most on it are Ghost of Tsushima, which is a PS4 game, Spider-Man, which is a PS4 game, and God of War 1, which is also a PS4 game. I have a couple of PS5 games, exclusive ones, like Returnal and stuff, but I've barely played them. My PlayStation really is just collecting dust. It's not just me saying it figuratively. I'm looking at it and there's dust on the top of it. I need to wipe it over. It's not being used at all. I rarely use my PS5 now. The Xbox is my go-to console, just mainly because of Game Pass. And I know we're an Xbox podcast, so I'm going to be biased, but I try and feel like I'm not going to be. I'm trying not to be biased, and I want to like my PlayStation more. I just don't. The price is it's not worth the price at the moment. I don't think, unless it's like you really, really, really want to play Horizon Forbidden West, which I've played like an hour of and I got bored of. There's not many games on there that's worth buying a PS5 for. You're better off buying a PS4, as you just said, because most of the good games are on PS4, like Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man and God of War. God of War Ragnarok should be cool, but it's also coming to PS4, so you can play it on PS4 anyway. There's not really anything PS5 exclusive that is worth buying it at this moment in time. I think Spider-Man 2 is the first game I'm going to be really hooked on that's a PS5 exclusive, and that's just because I'm a Spider-Man fan. I feel like there's that. I mean, there's games for the PS5, but there's nothing that's I feel like essential, honestly. And I know there's probably not much that's essential on Xbox either, but having Game Pass and having a system that's 4K but has options, hundreds and hundreds of games to play, I feel like Xbox is a better value proposition. Even if you just get the Series S, I don't yeah, I don't feel like you should buy a PS5 at this moment in time, honestly, especially with the price hike. It's mad, and I want to recommend the PS5. I want to, but I kind of regret buying it, honestly. Yeah, I should just got a Steam Deck or wait, got a laptop that's better than the one I got. Instead of buying a PS5, honestly, buy an Xbox, guys. As I said, if you want to buy a PS5 that desperately, just buy a Switch and buy a Series S, and it costs the same price to have both consoles. Like get the Series S and Switch, buy both, and then you can play all your Nintendo games and all your Xbox games, and you're just gonna miss out on what God of War Ragnarok. What do you do? You can play it on PS4 anyway. Like, oh man. Anyway, sorry, we got off on a tangent there, but yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I honestly feel like it's not worth it for you to buy a PS5. Unless it's like maybe Stray's about the only game I would think that you would really want, because I know you like Europe.
But you can get it on the PC as well.
Oh, there you go. Then it's not worth it.
And it could well be a time exclusive, so therefore it could be coming to Xbox or even the Switch. And when that happens, I'll see if I can get it. So let's see if they actually updated it. But yeah, it's just said it's been listed as a console exclusive for a limited time, so you never know.
Never know.
The game could arrive on the Switch or Xbox soon.
Yeah. So I feel like I feel like we ranted a lot about this greedy PlayStation stuff, but yeah, I feel like, as I said, get a Series S and a Switch. See, just get both, and then you have access to every game available apart from the PlayStation's exclusive, which I haven't been blown away by. My favourite PlayStation exclusives are Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima, and both of them are PS4, so there you go. Yeah, I've rambled a lot here today, so I mean, that's pretty much it for the podcast, unless you wanted to talk, there's never anything else you wanted to mention before we leave. Yeah, we good. So thank you guys for thank you guys for watching Xbox the Box. This was a bit of a rambly episode, and I think this might be probably our most controversial episode yet. We're slagging off PlayStation quite considerably, and also I don't like Liverpool Football Club, and also I don't support English football or English rugby teams. We're gonna get a lot of hate for this one. This is gonna be the most disliked episode in Xbox the Box history. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe. We're still quite new here. We want to try and build up the channel, and we want to build an audience and just keep going. And we're gonna try and do this as frequently as possible. Try and do it every week if we can. Obviously, we do have lives outside of this podcast, but we're gonna try our best to keep it going. And hopefully you guys will subscribe and follow us. Obviously we're on a new channel, which you guys probably would have found by now, but if not, just subscribe. Jump over to Xbox the Box on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Anything else you want to say before we go? Nope. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, too sweet. There it is, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.